Oh, it's been a long time since you've done one of these. I'm Gleep Glop, that's Floop-de-doo, and welcome to Grunt Speak.
Live from the lair, or almost live.
Not so live, not so live.
Not so live from the lair.
The reason why we're doing one of these is because a while back, late March, and I want to say he came and visited us sometime like January, February.
Yeah. He was, he's doing a walkabout in the middle of his life. He's changing stuff around.
François Le Chatain, our favorite French Canadian.
Yeah. And listen, if you find yourself in a situation where you need to make life changes, there is nothing wrong taking a walkabout to figure it out.
Hell no.
It's much better than just wallowing in misery for the rest of your days.
Some things in life just keep popping up, like Joe Biden's Peg D whenever he sniffs a child. But there's also Nelson Abbott. He's a talented writer and friend of the regiment who put his money where his mouth is to help us save lives and fight demonetization. So if you like kick-ass sci-fi, check out his Too Cool for Earth series on Kindle. Book 1 is only 99 cents, the other 4 are just $2 each. That's cheaper than AOC at the Glory Hole, and far less teeth. Book 6 is coming soon, just like your mom. Scan the QR code on the screen or click the links in the Meat Gazer box to get your read on. Because it's better to have your head in the clouds than to have your head up your ass. Yeah. You like my actual hairline here, no hat. You can see how much it's burning back. Enjoy that.
It's burning back, bro.
Burning back.
By 55, you're going to be bald.
It's not a bald spot. It's a solar panel for collecting brain waves.
Yeah, well, now you have a 6 head.
I still have 4.
Oh, okay. Well, on the sides, it's going
we're going to like 5 up in this area.
Yeah.
It's all good.
The fuse.
The fuse is burning back.
What the fuck?
And sooner or later, I'm going to detonate like a cherry bomb and go 6 feet under.
That'll be the end of us.
It is what it is. So, hello, dear Mr. Pop und the Herr Kleiner. Although the latter may not be in tonight. Well, this was, he thought it was going to be on a live stream because this came along with a $500 donation, which is why we just thought it deserved its own video.
Listen, it deserves its own video. Plus, it's relatively long.
Yes, it is indeed. So put this, he's going to go into detail here at the, it's called About My Current Situation and New Plans. First of all, just so you know, I'm writing this message in advance, on Monday, March 25th, in the morning to be precise, or I should be afraid that I might be unable to produce it on time for all of you, dear and distinguished gentlemen. I've been extremely busy of late, and for quite a few good reasons, too. Come to think of it, maybe this whole thing should be saved for a separate video, such as a Not So Live from the Lair or presentation of the Ride and Roast show. Anyway, although this text will obviously be much too long for the live show to actually be read on air, I shall keep on writing it as though it were theoretically meant for it.
Okay.
Here we go. As you know, and as Terrence would put it when I met him in person back on Thursday, November 16th last fall, I was then undertaking a walkabout. More specifically, as the popster would go on explaining to me that day, I should eventually find the answer for which I was looking. But said answer could hardly be predicted at such an early stage. Could be very different in nature or in terms of specifics from what I might expect, and only time would tell what it would be exactly by the end of such a journey, whenever this end would occur and wherever that journey would take me in all respects. Now, as you may remember, I was also undertaking an attempt at a new major change in career, from professional translation to screenwriting.
Mm-hmm.
You always see how you get from point A to B there.
Yeah. Well, listen, screenwriting, you can make some decent cash, but very few people can pull it off.
Exactly, yeah. It's very, very difficult career choice.
My advice, if you're going to do screenwriting, also write novels.
Yes.
Because if you're going to spend that much time writing stuff, might as well double dip or triple dip. And a lot of those screenwriters can turn stuff into graphic novels, too.
True story. Or sometimes you get a really great movie inspired by a graphic novel and people forget it was a comic book in the first place, like Road to Perdition. Great fucking movie.
Yeah, I like that movie. Don't like Hanks, but I like the movie.
Yeah, that's a great fucking movie.
Though I did see the movie where he's the commander of a destroyer.
Oh, yeah?
Listen, that was a really good movie. You need to watch that.
Which one was that?
The Greyhound, I believe.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that one. I saw Captain Phillips. That movie was really fucking great, too.
Yeah.
But that wasn't really Hanks so much as it was Paul Greengrass. Although I will say that the last bit of acting, once everything is kind of over with, that Hanks gives is probably some of the best of his career.
Yeah. I mean, the Greyhound is about, it's based on a true story about a guy in command of several destroyers during World War II, and he's escorting a bunch of supply ships to England, and he literally goes toe-to-toe with a wolf pack.
Nice.
It's pretty good.
I have not seen that one. I'll have to check it out. I've seen The Gray, where Liam Neeson is on a plane with a bunch of people that crashes in the Arctic, and they wind up facing wolves that way. That's an awesome movie, too.
Yep.
But we're not talking about it. We're off in the weeds.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, we went off in the weeds on that one. It happens a lot. That's why you guys watch.
Where's the sound effect? I got to find it. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And done with movies. Okay.
All right.
You talk about screenwriting, you get us off in the weeds.
There you go.
For 2 months, starting in the second half of last January, I should thus finish the writing of a third such screenplay. Nice. Long enough to lead into the making of a feature-length motion picture and edit the 2 much shorter ones that I had already written beforehand. I must confess again that all screenplays that I have written thus far are of a strongly erotic, though not pornographic nature.
Soft Orn Pay?
A little Basic Instinct action.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll make a sequel, call it Intermediate Instinct.
Blue Lagoon?
50 Shades of Gay.
Yeah, that was I actually enjoyed reading that. That was funny.
Yeah. 50 Shades Darker. I was always wondering if they were going to bring in like Jamie Foxx or something for that. Did it just get dark in here?
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't notice.
They have 2 guys named Jamie plowing the same woman. We call that finger cuffs. Or gay sex with a witness, if you prefer.
Yeah. You don't do that, gentlemen.
Either way, somebody's got dirt on you after that.
Mm-hmm.
So be careful, Epstein. At the very least, they contain a lot of nudity and very sensual elements. You have piqued my interest, sir.
Here we go.
Well, not everything absolutely needs to be shown in a graphic and crude fashion, now does it? No.
No.
You remember that movie, State and Maine, written by David Mamet back in the day, early 2000s? William H. Macy was in it. Sarah Jessica Parker plays an actress who routinely gets naked on screen all the time. I think she was supposed to be a Sharon Stone type or a Kate Winslet, if you prefer. One of my favorite lines that I use to this day in conversation is, well, they've seen her naked so many times they could draw her tits from memory. And then she's like, I'm done with that stuff. I want to be taken seriously as an actress. Straight from the horse's mouth. So they decide that they're going to show the breasts to the actor, but not to the camera. Oh, it's so tasteful. Good movie, though. Check it out. Very funny. The fact is also that I was under the impression that the southeastern end of the Floridian Peninsula, especially with Miami proper, was still a very good hub for such filmmaking. More Georgia, I would say. Georgia's kind of taken the mantle away from Miami at this point. Well, I was certainly not going to aim at Hollywood or Los Angeles, what with all those crazy leftoids on the West Coast and California.
Yeah.
A good choice.
Listen, Hollywood's going to collapse because of that.
You can make the first official Florida Man movie.
Yeah.
Now that I would go and see. If you can write a Florida Man script with a French-Canadian twist, little gay, but I'm sure it'd be pretty funny.
Gay!
Pop had to run and grab his diet cancer while I was on the phone for a second.
Silence!
Well, aspartame sounds like something that you would get excised at the dermatologist. I'm just saying. I have to get this aspartame here. See, it's dangling from my armpit. You see this fucking shit?
I only really drink
This is quite disgusting. It looks like a skin tag that has googly eyes on it.
I only drink like 2 or 3 diet sodas a month.
Yeah, I drink pop at the movies, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
So, because that's kind of part of the experience. All right, I want to get my big fucking honking ass huge bag of popcorn, and I want my big soda, and sometimes I get the peanut M&Ms, and I'm just like, yes, I'm a glutton. You're going to deal with it.
All right.
So, with my screenplays in my rucksack, I have begun to try to knock at several doors in order to attempt to get a studio, filming company, director, or motion picture producer interested in them. I cannot say I've had a whole lot of success thus far, as the information that I have from a particular website seems to be woefully outdated.
Oh, yeah.
There is at least one place that I am certain I shall find at a specific street address, since I have already been there in person. Maybe the staff there can at least give me much more current information if they will not be interested in themselves in my screenplay.
Yeah. Also, you have to be
course you can.
really careful with that because they steal ideas
All the time, yeah.
all the time. And don't we know that guy who did Red Days?
Yes.
So if you want, you can,
Yeah, hit up Brett, man. You guys
email
can
him to
talk.
us, and then we can literally forward it to him. And
Yes.
so you will know that your screenplays are get in front of somebody who does actual film work.
Yes. And Texas also, do not underestimate Texas's film
Oh yeah.
community. It's pretty damn big down there because the state itself is huge. And there's very little red tape to film there versus someplace like California.
Mm.
So, yeah, you can get a lot done in Texas for very cheap. Kind of like your mom. Not that I would know or anything.
Yeah. Well, we're all north of the Omama line.
Not in Texas, though. I can make that joke
no.
here. You go to Texas, so you got your hands off the mama jokes.
You might have to adjust your dental plan.
A little bit. Have to start flossing with jump rope instead of floss. That looks like a more cock thing, but it's not, I promise you. Dental Association.
Dude, you know you're hit.
I'm always hit. And that's why you go from hit to shit. Of course, since the very beginning of this whole process, I am perfectly realistic, not delusional at all, as I had no experience whatsoever in this field beforehand, and therefore had no idea what to expect at first. I still have no such definite expectations. To me, in a word, being able to say in the end that I have at the very least indeed tried after doing the actual hard work, meaning the physical screenwriting, will feel and be more than good enough. And you know what?
There's a lot to be said about that.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Correct.
So even if you fail, you did it.
That's right.
You tried.
Yeah, listen, I do the same thing. There's lots of things that I tried and failed, but I have no regrets because I did the best I could.
Absolutely. And I always remember that line from Grumpy Old Men when she says, the only thing in life that you regret in the end are the risks that you don't take.
Absolutely.
So take some risks, as long as it's not, raw dogging at the glory hole. I'm totally behind it.
Yeah, you don't need that aggravation.
No, that would be really bad. You want to talk about the burning ring of fire.
If they have to burn off the consequences of your bad decisions, that's a bad day.
A little bit. Or you could just, pick a little bit of dust off like this, because, we're just full of dust bunnies around here. I think our dust bunnies are literally fornicating and multiplying.
Yeah, I vacuum twice a year in here. So.
Allegedly. There are still dead fly carcasses on that windowsill that directly spit in the face of such assessments. Or they would if they could.
They're dead. They're dead.
They're dead. Even the other flies won't go near them anymore. Hey, bruh, wake up. Wake up, bruh. Fuck off.
Go away.
And who knows what I might still be able to accomplish in the last month, namely next month, the month of April 2024, that I have left to spend in this part of the United States of America. So we're probably going to be coming up very soon on an update to this, so we'll keep you guys informed.
Oh, I can't wait.
As things seem to be shaping up for me in the middle or long term, I return to Canada, first by way of northwestern New Brunswick, and then that of eastern Quebec, my native region. I have this serene attitude because I realize all too well how controversial my screenplays, especially the third and last one to date, will seem to be at first to other people if they ever lay eyes on them. Well, in a word, I am quite certain that the story of the third screenplay in particular would be at least rather agreeable to you, dear and esteemed gentlemen, in terms of views about the meaning of life in today's society and of values, but I am absolutely, positively sure that it would drive every effinist insane. All woke tards crazy, and any contemporary liberal berserk.
It's not that hard.
You're threatening me with a good time,
You
friends.
literally tell them the truth, they go crazy.
Yeah. And that they're all about diversity, equity, and inclusion until it's a person or a point of view they don't agree with. And then you find out just how tolerant the left really is.
Well, or you bring up the actual numbers, like men die
Yeah.
on the job, like, 96% of the time.
Yeah. They'll
Man.
call people like you and me bigots, but
Yeah.
let's see who like Kanye West and Candace Owens think are the real bigots.
Kanye West is what happens when Negroes don't read.
Well, another thing is a lot of these feminists that go to college and they think they're going to get out of college and then become CEOs of these billion-dollar corporations.
And then they wonder why they can't marry up.
Yeah, yeah. Well, first of all, you got to pay your dues.
Yeah.
And any corporation worth its salt promotes from within, and you got to work your way up.
Yeah. Well, most of these women prefer to fail upwards
Yeah,
from under a desk.
yeah. Or they trip and fall on penises.
That's what I was getting at.
Yeah, they either take the internal snot massage.
It
or
was
they
just an accident.
mouth hug with a head bob.
Yes.
There
A
you
little bit, yeah. Suck that promotion and swallow it down.
There you go.
Is that promotion a little salty? They smell a little bit like bleach.
I think it's.
It's a hefty pay raise when you have to chew before you swallow.
God.
I don't want it. I don't want it.
However, in all honesty, I would only mean to help our civilization, the Western world, recover from its precipitous decline and get back on its feet. And in the end, such a story represents my current and firm views and values perfectly. So you got me interested, bro. I'd be interested to see what it's all about.
Yeah, yeah.
Give me a little story summation. Anyway, as you can see, I have made you a super chat donation that is much more generous than usual. Yes, I think I can afford it, and in essence, I still want to help all of you dear and fine gentlemen too. We much appreciate it. And
Thank you very much.
As always, we're not worthy.
We're not worthy! We're not worthy!
Furthermore, considering the circumstances and the occasion, I thought that I might as well send you one last and great bunch of image files from Quebec's Mea Culpa, depicting in photography the beauty of women in general and that of female nudity in particular.
Yeah, I'm a fan of female nudity, as long as it's not gravitationally challenged.
Correct. Full German is where we draw the line.
That's it. I don't want to slap your ass and then see the wave on your belly.
No. And I am, unfortunately, I am starting to notice men falling victim to this linguistic propaganda where women have usurped terms like voluptuous and curvy and co-opted them to mean bulbously fat, gelatinous, disgusting, stretched out tiger stripes,
Tree bark.
fat.
Yep.
Like, no. That's not what curvy means. That's not what voluptuous means, okay? Voluptuous may sound like it has the word lump in the middle. It doesn't mean it applies to your lumpy, fat Tourette's of the elbow ass. So stop using the term voluptuous for women like this and use it properly for women who look like this. Thank you.
Excellent. I agree.
So, great and dear friends, do enjoy. However, I am afraid that I shall have to stop watching Grunt Speak live when it is actually being broadcast live for quite some time, for a number of reasons. Do not worry, though, at least for a significant period yet, I shall remain a subscriber on Subscribestar, and at the same time keep on liking all the videos and downloading them afterwards. Later on, since I have a banking account in American dollars, I could start sending checks to Redonkulas by mail if you care to receive them, and go cash said checks physically.
But whatever, that works.
We're not worthy of any of it, so whatever you decide to send is
Thank you very much.
very grateful. First, as I have said, I keep on being very busy on my end in my current life down here, as among other things, I have to prepare for my return to Canada. Said return will take place in the first half of May, so we're right in the middle of it now as we're recording this.
Yep.
On my Harley-Davidson Sportster iron motorcycle, I would intend to go literally all the way up Old U.S. Highway number 1, that is indeed from Key West, Florida to Fort Kent, Maine, and then re-enter Canada. No. At the level of the latter and of that Clare, New Brunswick, which is at the level, once again, of eastern Quebec, my native region.
I fucking hate Quebec.
This guy fucking poppers.
Second, in the house where I shall have stayed for 5 months altogether, there is free wireless internet connection, sure, but it has rather unreliable and at times very poor connectivity. So every time I watch you in such conditions, I have to check the connection or reconnect constantly, which I am sorry to say is rather annoying.
Yes.
However, of course, you know the phrase, don't look a gift horse in the mouth, especially if it looks like Sarah Jessica Parker or Alexandria Occasional Cortex.
How she used to look.
Yeah, well, she's still even worse now.
Yeah.
Fourth and last, but not least, in the end, or more to the point in the long term, to be quite honest with everyone, I would intend to do and prepare everything so that I can live off-grid as much as possible, at least digitally speaking.
Fair enough.
Exactly, fair enough.
In today's day, in current year, I think getting off the grid is probably a wise idea.
It's a very wise idea. I will not judge you for this at all in a harsh way. I know that this may sound extremely backward of me and counterproductive to you, dear and respectable gentlemen. Nope. Especially in today's day and age, but this, in a word, happens to be a significant part of the answer that my Walkabout would eventually provide to me. In my case, this will be relatively easy to accomplish, as all that I have got is a very retro flip phone, not a multifunction cellular telephone. I actually miss the retro flip phones, man.
Yeah, I'm getting kind of tired of the big fucking brick thing you hold up to your face.
Yeah, I miss my old Nokias. I had to charge that every 3-4 days.
Yeah.
I mean, it did everything that you needed. Play Snake on it. Ideally while, somebody is servicing your Snake. 10 cents per text was bullshit, but other than that, they were just fine.
Yeah, that was stupid. But
yes, I truly loathe the term smartphone. Well, it's kind of a misnomer, isn't it? Because the people who are glued to them
are idiots.
Yes, there you go.
Oh.
Thus, when, even in Canada, just as in the United States currently, the 3G network to which my flip phone is connected will get phased out and be replaced with the 5G network altogether, I shall let it be and not replace it with anything modern. Naturally, meanwhile, I shall have a good and clear handwritten note of all information that my flip phone currently contains.
Wise idea.
Yes. No, instead, I shall go back to a landline telephone and a separate answering machine, just the way that things were in that respect until the middle of the 90s. Mad respect, bro. If you can do it comfortably, go for it.
I can't argue.
No. Besides, in the strict sense, I have never been on social media. No, I have never created or opened any account on Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, MySpace, Twitch, Instagram. We'll just boil it down and call it Twit-Facetagram. How's that sound?
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Twit-Facetagram.
Or Face Twat.
I resemble that remark.
And how shall I remain connected to the world at large so that I can at least be warned somewhat if, God forbid, an all-out nuclear war is likely to take place, you may ask? Simple. In the meantime, I shall also learn how to use a shortwave radio.
Yeah.
As well, if, in the long term, you still care to get news from me, I shall send you handwritten or typewritten letters by snail mail and sometimes even call, meaning telephone you, as both emails and text messages will thus logically be right out. I get it, man. If you want to go back to a simpler time, God bless you. Well, all this is in the long term. As well, whatever happens, dreaming is not prohibited in any manner, now is it? Well, not yet.
No, not yet. Yeah.
If our, lovely, stunning, and brave, totally not insider trading and kid fucking Congress decides suddenly that your dreams are off the table.
Yeah.
Well, then guillotines were created for a reason now, weren't they?
Yes, they were. Ay.
And why do I feel this way about technology? Answer, among other things, is that unlike Terrence Popp, but quite like Battledwarf, I believe that sooner or later technological progress or prowess will reach a peak and possibly even start declining afterward, not keep on going indefinitely. I think we may already be there, bro, in a lot of ways.
Well, one of the main things that's limiting us is we have pushed the silicone chips about as fast as they're going to go.
Yeah. There is some scuttlebutt on the horizon of a new potential superconductor that could completely change the game. All that's fine and dandy, but...
what are they going to use it for?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And obviously, devices like this, which they were fed to us with the guise of making the world a smaller place, keeping people in touch, sharing information more freely, are now instruments of control.
That, and if they really get pissed at you, they literally just ping your phone and hit you with a Hellfire missile.
There you go. Next thing you know, we're all going to be Doug Quaid in Total Recall pulling the glowing red orb out of our fucking nostrils.
I hated that movie.
I fucking love Total Recall.
The only thing I liked about that was the 3-tit chick.
I mean, it's one for each hand and one for your mouth, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
There you go.
No shit.
That's like when you get two women at the same time. You're like, yeah, it sounds like a great idea, but there's just so much to do.
It's a whole drum set.
It is.
Yeah.
Tequila! And one other detail. As long as I can still actually use it, I shall still have at least an old laptop computer whose operating system, if I'm not mistaken, is Windows Vista 7.
You can get by with...
and it works?
What is it? There's that open source one. Linux.
Yeah, Linux is open source. And the funny thing is that there are still a lot of colleges and universities using like Daktronics setups or scoreboards that you're used to seeing. Most of those are created by Daktronics. Almost all of them still exclusively use Windows XP.
Wow.
Yeah. I shit you not. I was using Windows XP up at Oakland University running their Daktronics as recently as 2014.
Yeah, I liked Windows XP.
It worked.
Yeah.
Unlike most of the Windows shit that has come out since, it actually worked. We don't even talk about Windows 2000 anymore. People were too just astonished at how shitty Vista was.
Yeah.
Or Windows Millennium Edition.
No, thank you.
No thanks, yeah.
I think after XP, Windows has really just gone to shit.
I mean, obviously, Bill Gates got so into his kid fucking, he couldn't be bothered to quality check his shit.
Or, he wants to make all kinds of vaccines and buy farmland and do all kinds of nefarious shit that, in my opinion, he has no business doing.
No. Isn't it amazing how we're not supposed to listen to real doctors, but Bill Gates is considered a medical authority?
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, because I go to the vet to see what I should buy at the deli.
Well,
do you have any idea how fucking stupid you leftoids are? I'm just asking for a friend.
I don't think they realize.
They really don't, no, because they've framed everything as a moral argument.
Yeah, I think they will only realize after they've destroyed this country or there's been a huge two-way rifle range that took place. And then they see all the carnage and they go, well, maybe we were wrong.
Maybe we were wrong.
Yeah, because that's typically what happens after a big bout of carnage.
Yeah, I mean, it's really easy now to call all the people who live out in the sticks backwards, incestuous rubes, until your electric isn't working anymore, you don't have running water, natural gas is a thing of the past, and then the only people who have those things are those backward rubes who are protecting all of it with shotguns. And you think you're just going to go get it because you're going to get what's yours.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. I want to see that.
It's not going to work out for you, but you have my blessing to go ahead and give it the old school try. Granted, you never actually went to school. You went to an indoctrination center, so you may not understand the difference.
Thug life. Those are nice pictures, though.
Yeah, I don't mind them at all. That they're just kind of off in the we can't have this up on screen because we have titties looking at us.
Yes,
right now.
yes.
Yeah, 2 eggs sunny side up. The only thing that's missing is my sausage right in the middle of them. Maybe I'll leave you some hash browns when I'm finished, or some hollandaise sauce for your eggs bendy dick.
Allegedly.
This computer seems to have been made in 2007, and in my case, I purchased it back in the fall of 2009. Apparently, it has long since ceased to be able to be connected to the internet, at least through a wireless connection. And then as much as this is accurate, this makes this device all the more appealing for me to use now. Yeah, I don't think Wi-Fi connection was standard in computers at that time. I think that started coming out a little later than 07.
If I recall, some of those older laptops that had to buy a Wi-Fi card.
Yes.
That you put in there and then you could get Wi-Fi.
Because I didn't have cable internet until 2005. If I remember correctly, about the time frame.
Yep.
And it was when my buddy moved in with us, and he wanted to be able to game, and I was like, "Well, we can go get cable internet. I'll pay for it."
Well, when I was married, I had cable internet, and then I believe I had it a few years prior to getting married, because I used to play the first person shooters and
Oh, yeah.
real time strategy on GameSpy, which no longer
you weren't a
exists.
Warcraft guy.
Yeah, I was one of those guys.
You were a Warcraft guy. You did Warcraft.
StarCraft.
Oh, StarCraft. Okay.
Yeah, and then Command and Conquer 1, 2, and 3. I love that shit.
Nice. I've never been an online gamer. I've always been a console guy.
Or Total Annihilation. Especially there's some modifications where you literally. I've played some of those games where we all had to decide to stop attacking, leave the computers running, take a day off, come back. It's like 16 hours of gameplay
Wow.
to finish. It was awesome.
You know what I loved back in the day for online gaming when I actually did it was Unreal Tournament.
Oh yeah,
That game was the fucking bomb. Loved it. Getting all nostalgic now for the George W. era. Fuck you, Biden. If I'm nostalgic for the W era, you have fucked up somewhere.
yes.
Holy shit.
By the numbers.
Ugh. All the numbers 79, the 69, 71, 72. That's 3 fingers up your ass.
Or all the way to 666.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I wonder if he like holds up his diapers to Moloch.
Oh, horrible.
I think this is shit. Yep. You know he does. He doesn't even dress himself anymore. I bet Jill puts his socks on, gives him his bran muffin, waits for him to have a bowel movement, and then tucks him in with a prune juice bottle and a nice nap.
Oh, God.
You're not making decisions. But you know what? The reason why I still throw the buck at his feet is 1, he's got the office. 2, even if he was mentally with it, everything would be going exactly the fucking same.
Correct.
Because he was always an evil kid fucker.
Yeah, and he never ran shit.
No.
There's a force, a swamp donkey, something up there.
Yep.
That's pulling the strings of our government that needs to get. The whole situation needs to get rectified.
I mean, you want to talk about failing upwards.
Oh my God.
Congress.
Yeah. They've got like a 17% approval rate.
Yeah, a good chunk of Congress never worked in the private sector because they were abject failures like Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders.
Yeah. Oh man, Bernie Sanders. He failed at everything, and so did his wife.
Yep.
And I believe they both bankrupted an entire college.
Shocker. But that'll totally work if we just didn't do it right.
Get the hell out of here. I'm tired of hearing that argument.
Anyway, he continues, I know that the vast majority of people these days would look at me as though I had 3 heads if I ever told them that. Therefore, in a word, I do not wish to be connected to any electronic network anymore. I don't blame you at all.
No, yeah.
Well, for virtually my whole life on this planet thus far, I have tended to do things my way, not caring one bit about what people think of me. And that is the best way to live.
That's the key right there.
As soon as you care what other people think of you,
You are their slave.
there you go. And Democrats don't need any more of those.
Nope.
They've already got plenty.
Well, they imported quite a few.
Yeah, and they have willful slaves who honestly think they're not in the plantation anymore. That takes a special kind of stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, just try voting conservative one time if you're black and tell your friends
No, they'll get all
and see
upset.
what happens. Or better yet, if you're black, marry a white chick.
Oh.
You want to find out who the real racists are? Not me.
Check, please.
Oh, shit, man. Like, every time I've ever had to shoot an interracial wedding, the guest list is always shockingly small. Yeah. Because half the family doesn't want to give their blessing to it.
Well, statistically speaking, that's usually not a good arrangement.
And guess whose side of the family tends to be the one running sparse? The non-melanin challenged variety. Does it happen every single time?
No.
No. But
How many weddings?
60% of the time, it happens every time.
But you've done how many weddings?
700, 800.
And these are honest observations that
Yes.
you have made.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And it's gotten to the point where I can literally walk into a room, take a look at a few family pictures, and see how people behave. And I'm like, you're going to be fine. I'll see you in 3 years.
You should make it a policy that you don't do two repeats.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, there's no discount for repeat business.
In fact, you probably should not do repeats.
No. I would love to see the person come back to me and be like, well, since my last wedding didn't take, can I just roll the cost of that one and fuck off?
Disappointed!
Finally, by next fall, I shall certainly become a member of the People's Party of Canada. And why not? Might even consider running for office at the federal level as such. They could use some sane people in there. I wish you all the luck in the world.
Yes.
And hopefully Trudeau's out by then so you don't get ass-innated.
Diplomatic community.
Now, this political party's name might sound socialistic to you, but you would be mistaken in believing that this party actually is. No, this one is the only one to be vocal against all of those so-called public health measures during the pandemic, and it remains firmly so against this transanity. I like that. Transanity.
That's going in the book.
Yeah, it's going in the brain.
Transanity. I like it.
And for the restoring of moral values and Western boldness in Canada. In a word, this indeed is a political party after my heart, and in that sense, the only one that exists there up north. At the same time, now, my reasoning is that I really should fight for the fixing of my own country instead of trying to help clean matters up in another one, be it the great United States of America.
Or you could do both.
You could do both, exactly. In conclusion, well, because that's one thing that I've noticed is that Western countries definitely seem to feed off of each other's ideas.
Yeah. You're absolutely correct.
So, like, if wokeness starts to severely tank in one country, the dominoes are going to fall. And it's already starting to fail.
If it kicks off into a dynamic argument situation here in America, it's going to spread to Europe.
Yes, it will. And Canada will be the first one that it goes to. Because they're right fucking there.
Yes.
And I'm sorry, but sorry doesn't cut it.
To be fair.
To be fair.
In conclusion, well, for the time being, I wish to thank you, true gentlemen and scholars, for everything, and if I have been able to help at least in a small part towards your goals, indeed the goals of all of us, I'm sincerely and deeply happy. Take care of yourselves and see you sometime, somewhere, in one way or another. Goodbye, yours sincerely, Francois Lechatin.
Thank you so much, man. And, you know, first of all, I want to apologize for taking so long to get to this. But we do have a lot of stuff going on, so cut us some slack.
We're currently redoing this area here.
It's going to change.
Is going to be moving into a different area of the house so that the recorded material is going to exclusively be in this room, while the live streaming is going to be in another room.
Yeah, and after I read this the first time, I'm like, this has to be its own episode.
Yes,
and I sent it to Blake. I'm like,
it's beautiful, and you know what? I wish you all the luck, man.
Yeah.
If I didn't have a business to run, I wouldn't have social media. I probably wouldn't have anything more than a basic cell phone either.
Well, I mean, the only reason I have all that stuff is because I run Redonkulas.
There you go.
And second-class citizen.
If we didn't have those things to where like we needed to have access to our, the regiment at any given time, I wouldn't have it.
That's right.
Because it is a time vacuum. This stuff, and people have become so overly entitled to instantaneous response. I find myself, getting impatient sometimes, and I'm like, look, you know what?
I texted him 10 minutes ago.
I remember a time I had a rotary phone in my home growing up.
That's
all right.
right.
So I can be patient. All right.
Do you remember like leaving the voicemail, and then he would call you back, or she would call you back like the next day or something?
Yeah.
And that was totally acceptable.
Totally fine.
Now, 10 minutes goes by. Why is he ignoring me?
Why you didn't answer my text? Why are you leaving me on red?
Yep.
I tell my wife actually to turn off read notifications because she has a habit of answering a text and then leaving her phone down totally open. So she'll get like 3 or 4 replies sometimes before the phone actually goes black. So people are seeing that she read it and she doesn't even fucking know it's there. Like, turn off read notifications if you know what's good for your own sanity, because if you have people surrounding you in your life who feel entitled to instantaneous communication, all you're going to do is piss them off.
Yep.
Now, granted, should you upend your lifestyle for them? No, but it's literally 2 clicks on your phone and you turn that shit off. Free advice for your own inner peace. And as we all know, the older you get, the more important that is.
Oh, my God, yes.
And that's why, Francois, no judgments here. Golf clap, bravo.
Yeah, look, man, I am a big proponent of the walkabout.
Yeah.
I really am.
Yeah, it's almost like a modern-day vision quest, like the Native Americans used to have, I encourage everybody to do it.
Well, the only reason that I didn't, do one in my life is I got divorced. And then I literally had to go back in the Army.
Yeah.
And that was...
Honestly, the best time to do this is right out of high school.
Yes.
When
or
you're
out of college.
Yeah, or out of college. Yeah. But even then, if you do that, I would say to do this before college, because college, they're really indocking people in college now.
Yes.
So if you can go out and see the world and actually get an appreciation for the freedoms you have here that you absolutely would not have elsewhere, that's the time to do it. That's why a lot of dudes join the military too. That's kind of their own equivalent walkabout.
That's
They do their
right.
4 years. They see the world. They're like, well, I'm glad I don't live in this fucking shithole.
I've run into hundreds of guys in the past 30, 40 years. They're always like, I should have went in the military. All of this would still be here. And they would be absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Taking 4 years out of high school and then going in the Navy or the Army or the Marines and seeing the world.
Yeah.
It can only improve your life.
Yep.
Because when you come back here, you realize that you grew up behind the safety of 5 fences, listening to elevator music for your entire life.
Yep. It's a culture of decadence. And instead of acknowledging that, like at these leftoids especially, that they don't know what the hell they're talking about because they barely go outside of their gated communities or universities, they want to say that you're the problem. The guy who's actually seen the world and knows how homosexuals are treated in the Middle East is the problem, instead of the one trying to tell you, maybe you should shut the fuck up and actually appreciate what you have.
Which we don't. That's part of the problem.
That is a huge part of the problem.
There's no gratitude.
Yeah. And a big part of that is a lack of masculine influence informing these kids as they're growing up. Hey, all of this is within 72 hours of disappearing at any given time.
Or
be fucking grateful.
Yes. Well, you know what would help a lot of these dumbasses today, especially the younger guys, is go spend 3 years in goat fucking shit in a bucket land. And you will see exactly how the real world works. It is evil, brutal, and nobody gives a shit about you. And then you come back here and then you appreciate this country.
Yep.
Because I'm telling you, the first time I went to goat fucking shit in a bucket land, I was like, this sucks.
Yeah. Instead, you've got a bunch of ignoranuses trying to tell all the rest of us that we need to own up to our privilege. The gated community, silver spoon-fed titty suckers are the ones saying that we're the ones who need to acknowledge our privilege.
And they're going to be the first ones to get the atomic swirly when the two-way rifle range fires up.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And at that point in time, you know who's going to be among the safest people in the world? Francois.
Yeah. Well, also, I'm getting the hell out of the way.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to have a shack in the woods with a couple of solar panels, maybe a radio.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to ride it out.
Some tripwires and security cameras, and away we go.
All day long and about the Sundays.
Remember, gentlemen, stock up on your cordless hole punchers and hole punching pellets. Because
freedom seeds.
Freedom seeds, yes. Because at any given time,
you never know.
You may get forced to go off grid. And if you're not prepared,
things get real rough.
A little rough. Just the way your mother likes it.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys next time. Thank you for the story, Francois. And dudes, keep your stories and walkabouts coming because that's why we're here.
And also, like, if you guys want my advice, email me. And in the subject line of the email, just put advice. Because I get a lot of guys who want advice, but I get so many emails, I miss them.
Yes.
So, go please.
If you want advice, put it in the subject heading. If you want to be kept anonymous, make sure that that's one of the first things that you write. If you don't want it to be read on air at all, let us know that.
Yeah,
too.
let us know.
Those are the 3 golden rules. If you want advice, make sure you're asking for it in the subject line. If you want to remain anonymous, first sentence of your email. And then, what was the third one?
I don't know. I forgot.
I forgot to. You can rewind it.
Yeah, figure it out.
We've been huffing stain fumes from prepping the new studio, so I'm like,
we're a little.
It'll be fun.
Oddly happy.
I'm hungry. I don't know why. You guys take it easy.
Take it easy.
I can't do it!